There's a sentence women keep saying to you. You're so sweet. And somehow, it never ends well. Picture this. You're sitting across from her at dinner. Candlelight. Easy laughter. You ask about her childhood. You listen. You remember details. She says, I feel so safe talking to you. Your heart translates that as, progress. A week later she says, I met someone, but I really value our friendship. And suddenly you're staring at your phone like it personally betrayed you. You were respectful. You were attentive. You were emotionally available. So why does she choose the guy who barely asked her 3 questions? Here's your first shift. You didn't get friend-zoned because you were too nice. You got friend-zoned because you hid your desire. There's a difference. Let's go deeper. When you sit with her and focus only on being safe, agreeable, and supportive, you create comfort. Comfort is good. But attraction requires tension. Not drama. Not manipulation. Tension. And tension only exists when romantic intent is clear. Now imagine a scene. You're walking with her after dinner. There's a slight pause. Eye contact lingers. Instead of holding it, you look away first. Instead of saying, I'd like to take you out again, you say, we should hang out sometime. Hang out. That phrase has killed more attraction than bad breath. You think you're being respectful. She thinks you're unsure. And here's something most men never hear. Women don't friendzone men they feel romantic tension with. They friendzone men who feel emotionally safe but romantically neutral. That stings a little, doesn't it? Good. Because this is fixable. Now let's talk about what's actually happening inside you. You don't fear emotional rejection. You fear sexual rejection. There's a difference. Emotional rejection feels like, she doesn't like me. Sexual rejection feels like, she doesn't desire me. That hits deeper. So what do? You play it safe. You delay expressing interest. You wait for clear signs. You convince yourself she should make it obvious. But attraction isn't built through obviousness. It's built through polarity. Polarity means there's a spark. A current. A subtle push and pull. And that requires you to signal romantic intent early. Not aggressively. Clearly. Here's your second shift. Kindness doesn't kill attraction. Ambiguity does. When a woman doesn't know whether you want her romantically, her brain categorizes you as safe. Safe becomes familiar. Familiar becomes platonic. Now let's compare 2 men. Man A says, you're such a great person. I love talking to you. Man B says, I have to be honest. I'm enjoying this in a way that's not just friendly. Feel that difference? Man B isn't rude. He isn't crude. He's clear. Clarity creates tension. And tension creates attraction. Now let's add some humor. You say you're just being yourself. But if yourself never flirts, never holds eye contact, never escalates touch beyond a polite side hug, you're not being yourself. You're being a customer service representative. Thank you for dining with me tonight. Please rate our emotional connection 5 stars. Attraction cannot grow in customer service energy. It grows in masculine direction. Direction sounds like, I'm taking you out Friday. Not, let me know if you're free, unless you're busy, no pressure. Pressure kills attraction. But so does hesitation. Here's the third shift. Friend zone isn't rejection. It's lack of expressed leadership. When you delay showing romantic interest, she adapts to the energy you give her. You teach her how to see you. If you show up as safe and neutral, she will respond safely and neutrally. Now let's make this practical. On a first or second date, you need to signal 3 things clearly. 1. You are attracted to her. 2. You are comfortable with that attraction. 3. You are not apologizing for it. That can sound as simple as, "You look good tonight. I like how you carry yourself." Then hold eye contact for 2 seconds longer than feels safe. That pause? That's tension. Or later in the date. "I'm not looking for new friends. I'm dating intentionally." Delivered calmly. With a small smile. No aggression. No apology. If she's interested, she'll lean in. If she's not, she'll subtly pull back. Either way, you get clarity. And clarity builds confidence. Now let's address the belief forming in your head. Women don't respect nice guys. That belief protects you from responsibility. It feels easier to blame modern dating. But the real issue? You avoided leading. Blame feels safer than risk. Because risk exposes desire. And desire makes you vulnerable. But here's the truth. When a man expresses romantic intent clearly and calmly, even if a woman isn't interested, she respects him more. And respect matters. Now imagine this scene. You're on a date. Conversation flows. Instead of staying in interview mode, you say, "Careful. If you keep smiling at me like that, I'm going to assume you like me." Playful, confident, direct. She laughs. That's polarity. That's spark. Not over the top. Not rehearsed. Human. You don't need to become colder. You need to become clearer. Cold creates distance. Clear creates direction. So here's your challenge. For the next 5 dates you go on, state your romantic intent verbally before the date ends. Not vaguely. Not indirectly. Clearly. "I'm enjoying this as more than friends." Watch what changes. Some women may step back. Good. That saves you months of confusion. Others will lean in. That's your green light. And in the next video, I'm going to break down how to build sexual tension without being inappropriate, because most men either overdo it or avoid it completely. Subscribe if you're done being the safe option. Watch the next video if you're ready to be the chosen one. Because you were never meant to be her emotional support system. You were meant to be her desire.